Hey, how are you? It's me, Stacie, Sew Stacie on all the socials, and I want to welcome you back to my channel. This one I've been waiting for. We've been waiting on this one. Y'all know if I'm going to do one vlog a year, it is always going to be Frocktails, Atlanta Frocktails to be exact. There's so much goodness in this video that I'm about to give you all. Let's just go ahead and run down the recap. So I was so here for the Atlanta Land, Alice in Atlanta Land, okay? The Atlanta spin on Alice in Wonderland. And I was like, I gotta come with some heat. I gotta come with some heat because I just really be putting a lot of pressure on myself, you know? So I was like, what am I gonna do? So I had some fabric, and excuse that chain from swinging in the back. It's not a ghost. I just cut that fan off because I was trying to film the intro, and I was like, they can literally hear the fan going. So that'll stop in a second. But anyway, I was like, I have this red fabric, but I don't think I have enough. That's kind of where we started. So that just kind of started me getting in the car driving. You know, I'm pulling all my inspiration from Pinterest. Y'all, Pinterest is addictive, and I'm so glad to say I'm a Pinterest junkie. I really am. So I started going there. I knew I wanted something kind of dramatic, but the way the dramatics ended was so not where I started, but I'm here for how it came out. Like, it was far greater than I could have imagined. And the creativity in Atlanta, oh, they came with it. Yeah, I was literally walking up to people like, can I please just take your photo? Like, oh, it was just so much goodness. And so Raven and I, as we always do, we have these plans. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. And then life gets in the way and we're like kind of scrambling a little bit. But for once, we went to Atlanta Frocktails and we did not take sewing machines because we were done sewing. Now, you know, we had some other little things that you had to iron out here and there, but baby, that chain just will not stop swinging. But I needed to finish my headpiece, which I thought to even start doing at like 1 o'clock in the morning, the night before we were supposed to go to Atlanta. So I could go on and on about it, but I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all get into this intro. Like I said, so much goodness. I'm gonna try to break up and put chapters as you're watching the video just to kind of help, because this could possibly get a little lengthy. But yeah, so again, you're new to my channel, baby, it's all things fun over here. We're gonna sew, we're gonna play in some clothes. I love makeup. I don't really do makeup videos for you all. If y'all are interested in that, and skincare, that's like a big thing for me. So, and I'm trying to actively lose weight because 44 is approaching. Oh my God. But I'm so happy to be here. But I have some plans that I want for my life, and I'm like, let's get it together so we can execute these plans in a way that makes me happy. So 3-minute intro, 3.5 minute. So I'm just gonna go ahead, step away, and yeah, I'm just gonna let this roll. So we're gonna get started, and it will definitely lead out in the most unexpected way. Raven and I always have the best time. So I'm Sew Stacie. If you've stumbled across my page, please follow, like, subscribe, all those things. Raven is at Raven Maureen. You will see her in multiple clips, and that's it. So go ahead, let's get to it, and let's go. What's up, friends? It is Atlanta Frocktails time. It is the Wednesday before Atlanta Frocktails. It is Wednesday night. It's about 9:30. And although I have pre-purchased majority of my materials, I had to like make a quick little run over to Joann Fabrics when I had a lunch break today, because the fabric that I knew I wanted to, what is happening? the fabric that I knew I wanted to use, I didn't have enough for what I wanted to make. So I'm gonna show you the pattern that I'm gonna use. You have seen this pattern several times. I have taken pictures in it before, but the reason you've seen this several times is because it is Simplicity's 9012. And how do you know you've seen this a million times? It's the blue lace dress that I have on in my intro. So I'm making that dress in view A, but without the sleeves. I'm making a dress, but I want to have a dramatic sleeve. So this is just driving me crazy. So I'm going to make it with an oversized long sleeve and kind of have like the balloon effect around my wrist because I'm going as the Queen of Hearts. Yay! So yeah, I'm about to cut this fabric out real quick, and whenever I can set up my camera, I'll try to do a quick little, you know, follow me along. But yeah, it's the Wednesday before. I should have been done with this, but such is life. You already know it's real over here. So because it was Alice in Atlanta land, I was determined to give this a funky street vibe. So I knew I had some fabric in mind, but I didn't know if I had enough of it. But I wanted a big, fun, sheer. It could be a dress, it could be a top. It didn't matter to me. It just needed to be funky that could be reworn. So this is the fabric that I settled on. I got this, I'm almost certain, and from one of the clearance sections in Joann Fabrics, maybe last year. And I love it. It's extremely sheer. And that look is in. So my undies will be nude, and because I'm not wearing a top under this. I'm just not. But what I'm thinking is, because I don't think I have enough to truly make a dress. Let me flip this back over. To truly make a dress, I'm going to make this as long as I can possibly get it. And I am going to take some scrap that's left over and trim some denim shorts. Some short shorts. Just kind of almost make them like a bloomer. This is what I like to have fun and just try things out that I would not normally do. So that's my plan for this fabric. So I took the fabric that I had and folded it in half, and I immediately realized I had enough to have a sleeveless dress, but I did not have enough to even possibly give half a sleeve. So I was like, okay, let me go over here and maybe, just maybe, I'll find more of this fabric. And I indeed was wrong because it was already clearance when I bought it. But I did find this delicious red organza, and it was a no-brainer. I brought it home and I went to work. It's a little bit deeper than the red of this fabric, but because it's sheer, I can get away with it. And most importantly, who gonna check me, boo? It's for kicks and giggles. We having a good time. So this organza will be my sleeve. This will be my dress for as long as it can be. And we're gonna trim out some bloomers, and I'm gonna make a headpiece. So let's get started. So as far as the pattern is concerned, we'll only need 3 pattern pieces. We'll need to cut out the front, the back, and the sleeve. And with the sleeve, we're going to take that sleeve and make it our own. We're going to expand it out so much further than what the pattern pretty much allows for. So we'll cut out the back real quick, then we'll move over to the front, cut that out, and then I'll show you me cutting out the sleeves. And that's all we cutting out for this dress. And because of how this fabric is made, it does work to my advantage to just use scissors and trim in between the layers. So I know most of you all found my page last summer when I made that blue dress and I ran out of fabric. So here we are again with the same dilemma. So remember, I got this fabric because it was on clearance. So I had to work with what I had. There's no more. So when I made this dress, I said I wanted it to be oversized, okay? I wanted big sleeves and I wanted the dress to be oversized. So when I laid out the back piece, for the way that I wanted it to go wider than the actual pattern piece, I cut it out as best as I could, So then I cut out my front panel for the dress. Okay, got the back cut, got the front cut. With the fabric that was left over, I took the fabric and folded it over twice, such that I would have 4 even squares of fabric to use to widen out my dress. There was nothing spectacular about me saying I'm going to cut 4 even squares. It's just what I was able to do with what I had. Plus, I knew from where the back panel ended, I only needed maybe 5 more inches out to the side to do what I wanted to do. So after I cut those 4 even squares, I took one and I split it in half. I took one of those squares and split it in half, so then you got this rectangle. I then took the rectangle and laid it to the side of the back piece, clipped it together, made a straight stitch. I lined up, all of the layers such that you can't tell where one piece ended and another piece began, such that the dress will be as wide as I wanted it to be. Like I said, I just wanted this to be kind of big and oversized, such that if I wanted to wake up one day and just put it on with some fun jeans and a heel, it would be like a fun top. But that was what I had in mind. And again, don't ever throw away your scrap pieces because you never know when you may need them. So I am legit giving you all the Cliff's Notes of a sew along. And y'all know I could talk, I could go. But the reason that I am like, let me get this done, is because right when I thought I had my evening to myself, work gave me something very, very timely that must be done. So this is me taking my break to stitch my Frocktails outfit together. And I'm so thankful that everything I needed for this outfit, I already had purchased and put in this house. And again, we are just expanding what little bit of fabric, because I need this dress to be a little bit oversized. So we're doing a straight stitch to mend the extra piece of fabric that we created from our scrap, to put that to the side of the back of the dress. And then we're going to repeat the same thing with the front. The reason we're doing this is because after we put this straight stitch, we are going to open it out, lay the pattern piece back over it, because we're going to do it for the other side as well. And we're going to trim it out oversized such that, I can get out here and do my thing at Frocktails on Saturday night. So this is a straight stitch, but in particular, I am using stitch number 2, where you get that triple row of straight stitch. That is a great stitch to use when you are trying to enforce something that you absolutely don't want to rip. I think I first started using this because Raven told me she does that with all of her pants, because baby, we could sit down and eat a little too much or whatever, stuff don't always fit the same, and then boom, you out of there. So this is a great stitch for when you are enforcing things that you definitely are a little bit concerned about. Because I started to do a zigzag. That's like my go-to, enforcement stitch. But I was like, let me just go ahead and hit number 2 real quick, and let's keep it going. So that's what this is. And there's no back stitching that needs to be done with that particular stitch. And we're going to keep that going till I get to the very end. And then we'll repeat it for the other side of this pattern piece. And then I'll bring you back when I actually open it up and trim it out. So you'll see what we did for the back and how we're going to repeat the same thing for the front. So let me finish this out and I'll see you in a second. All right, y'all. So number 1, apologies if you hear the ceiling fan, because it's going to town. Your girl is a little warm. Okay, so I came here to show you what I did with that scrap piece of fabric. Okay, so what I did, because we cut the 2 pieces, I laid this back out, because this is how you last saw pattern piece number 2, right? Well, what I did was, because we had enough room right here, what I did was take those pieces and add them out to the sides. And I lined up as best as possible the threading. Okay. So now we have more than enough. And we're just going to clean up this. Line it up. Push this back a little bit. All right, put my put down my things. Shop Raven Maureen, y'all. My girl specially made these for me. I reached out. I was like, look, I need some pink. I need some green. I need some gold. Do your thing. And oh my God, these are so perfect. Anyway, so put down your pattern weights. And I am mainly just here to clean up what I did. Okay? So, first things first. I hope this does not die on me, because why have I not charged it? I don't know. Okay. So let's start from the bottom. Got a little bulky right there. Oh, my nails look terrible. Don't y'all judge me. I promise you I'm going to do my nails tomorrow. Oh my God, it looks terrible. Anywho, just cleaning up things. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. And as far as this, I just want a clean line. So I'm actually going to cheat and grab my ruler. It may not be perfect, but maybe we're going to make it work. Hold on. I'm coming. So all I want is a clean line if I can help it. If I can help it. Get over here a little bit. Now I do have enough fabric that I can come back and add, hold on, what is this? What is this? Is this enough? This ain't quite right. No, no, no. You don't love me. So I'm gonna cut. I'm tripping. Okay. I'll clean this line up. I really don't. I'm doing too much. I am going to come back and add a little block. Hold, please. All right, it's late and I'm about to tap out. But here we go. So these are the two pieces that I cut to go on the pattern piece number 1. So that's the back. That's piece number 2 there. This will be the extra added to the side of pattern piece number 1 because I cut it on the fold, right? So 2 pieces. One here and then the other, okay? But that little weird corner that's up there, that little weird corner right there, that's driving me crazy. So when I cut this, it will be just, let me back out. It will be basically parallel to the pattern piece, and I'm cutting from the corner. But that weird gap right there, that weird gap up there, I don't have time. So what I did was I counted the stitching at the top. So I counted how many are up on that top part. So since it was 5, I took another piece, same width, counted down 5. Counted down 5. And I'm going to stitch it to that piece up there. So since I had to do it for one, I just thought I'd go ahead and show you. So I'm going to take this with right sides together, and we'll, make sure that when I lift this up, it matches. So we'll clip these together, and after I run a stay stitch, I'm tired. We'll clip these together, and after I run a stitch across here, after we run that stitch across there, I'll lift it up, and it'll be one full piece that will no longer have that gap right there. So I'm going to add this piece to the 2 up there, one on each side, one here and one on the other side, because I cut 4 of these smaller ones. So 2 will go down here, and then the other 2 will go up there, and that's it. After that, we'll be ready to stitch. I'll see you shortly. I hope that made sense to you. I'm sleepy, but you catch my drift. I'm all about showing y'all how to get out of funky spots when it comes to stitching, because in a perfect world, we would have enough fabric. Time would be on our side, but that ain't what this is, so you're going to get it how you live. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so let me show you how this goes. So this is the extra piece that goes on the side that I was just telling you about. Because we making the pattern piece, we're making the fabric wider, okay? So this is, where this would join to the side of, both sides of pattern piece 2, okay? We're doing it for 2 and for 1. Anyway, so we have that, and then this is the extra piece. This is the extra piece that I just cut, okay? You see how much shorter it is? This is filling in for that little weird gap that we have up there. Okay, this is filling in for that little weird gap that we have up there. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take this, and because I want these to match this direction, I'm going to take this, flip it over, making sure this, the little frilly part, I don't catch that, okay? We want to put it down like that, and put it down like that, and clip it that way. When I do, and we stitch it down, this will look like one continuous piece, okay? So again, I'm going to clip this mesh part without the extra design attached to it. Okay, get that out the way. So we're going to clip mesh to mesh, okay, keeping the frilly part out the way. So push that down, and now we're going to clip it, and we're going to stitch across from one side to the other. I'm going to stitch across, and we're still using that triple stitch to stabilize it. And after we do that, we'll have the extended piece. So it'll be extended in width as well as in height. And then we'll add it to the pieces. Because keep in mind, this all started because I knew off the top I didn't have enough fabric for what I was trying to do. But I was strategic in the way that I cut, because I wanted to be able to use my scrap pieces for whatever I needed to fill in, such as what we're doing right now. All right, so here we go. I've stitched it together. Now you open it up. Now you got one long pattern piece. It looks real terrible behind that sewing machine, so like you don't see it. Because baby, I am on borrowed time, but a time will be had. I will not buy an outfit from the store. I have never, ever gone to Frocktails and bought an outfit from the store, and I never will. I will forego the trip before I do that, because it's Frocktails, you know? I'm like, the amount of things that I've made in like no time, I know I can come up with an outfit for Frocktails. That's just my attitude. So I'm showing it to you from the side. Again, here's the stitching where I join this smaller piece to the longer strip and open it up. You can't even tell. You can't even tell. So I'm about to add this to the other side of 2 on the table. And then I've already stitched another one of these. So actually I need to stitch another one, and then I have a small block to add to the part that's laid out currently on the table. So, you know, you got to use what you got, get what you want, because your girl don't have enough fabric, but we gonna get her done. So we're very, very close, because once I do that, I'm stitching the sides, and then we put the sleeves on. That's it. I'm not hemming anything, because this fabric, well, the sleeves will be off, a little off, but I'm doing balloon sleeves. So I'm creating a casing, putting elastic in it at the bottom of my wrist, and that's it. But I'm not hemming any of this. Everything will be pulled over my head, because that's the beauty in dealing with delicate fabrics like mesh. Like, I was so strategic, you know, I tried my best to, like, these little longer pieces of mesh with nothing attached to it, I tried to leave those attached to just kind of cheat my way into, you know, this fabric being as stable as possible. So that's that. Let me go ahead and fix these other little strips so I could put the front to the back, and I'm going to bed. I will put the sleeves on in the morning. That's all I got. All right, here we go. So since both of the extra pieces are already attached to piece 2, now I have to take the smaller pieces that I cut, and we're attaching them here such that we can have a cleaner cut. Oh, it's gonna look so good. I see it. I see the vision. And then I can come back and put in my snips, you know, to know where to join things. And I think I'm going to cut pattern piece number 1, attach my side pieces, trim it out like it needs to be, like I want it to be, and baby, we're going to bed. We're going to bed. I'll attach the front to the back, but we're going to bed. The sleeves will get added in the morning, but that's all I got. But that's the hard part, because I had to do what I had to do. Okay, so let's put this to the side for a second. Okay. All right, short and sweet. Went ahead, clipped together that first small piece to extend the first widened piece out. Okay, clip it across, stitch across the top. After you do the straight stitch, you'll come back and you will attach it on the side. Like, once you fold that out and you see how it's perfectly straight stitched across, meaning that it's been widened, then you'll turn around and lay it inward, like sides facing, and boom, you'll do the exact same thing. And after that, you'll have your widened piece. And now you have a panel wide enough to make this dress oversized. I know it took a minute to get there, but we are there. So at this point, I took my ruler and widened out back piece number 2. I widened it out an extra 2.5 inches. And using that same ruler, I just slid it on up and completed that. And remember, if you do something like this, you have to go back and put in any notches and markings. So we're done with back piece number 2. So here's your fabric for the front of the dress, pattern piece number 1. And this is our extended piece that we created. Okay, you see where I had to join that to my rectangles that I created before. So we're putting light sides of the fabric together, and we're making sure that each layer of this mesh fabric is perfectly aligned, because otherwise it will be obvious that we join these pieces together. But again, these are quick little sewing tips that you want to keep in your back pocket, because you will run out of fabric at some point in your sewing lifetime. And it's aggravating, but I'm telling y'all, I will take all the trash out of this house, but I will not get rid of a scrap of whatever fabric I'm working on, whatever project I'm working on. I will not get rid of that fabric until every last stitch has been thrown, because you just never know what you may have to piece together. Trust me when I tell you this. So did that for pattern piece number 1, did the straight stitch, and now what's up, y'all? I feel like I always look homeless around Frocktails time. Like, case in point, look at my nails. Now, on one end, that lets you know my nutrition is on point, because the amount of growth, come on, the amount of growth that has happened with my nails in the last past couple of weeks is insane. But maybe that's that good nutrition from Arbonne I'm trying to tell you. But pray that I'm done with everything by tomorrow, because work got me today. It got my ass. They got me. They won. They got my check, your check, the person behind you check. They got their money's worth out of me, baby. From yesterday around this time to this moment. Fried. See y'all this weekend. Bye. What's up, y'all? I am in the home stretch of my Atlanta 2025 Frocktails dress. I've already told you, Queen of Hearts is where I'm going. So, Simplicity 9012 is what we've been working on. But I had to, number one, go get some extra fabric, because I've had the fabric for the dress for so long. Child, it's a mystery. I think it came from Joann's, but it ain't done no more because I went to check. But I knew I was going to have to come out with something. Chiffon has never led me astray, so that's what we're doing. So, I don't feel that it's too far off. It's like a little bit darker than my fabric, but because it's chiffon, it's like, does it matter? Like, is it really going to be that big of a deal? It's going to be nighttime. Anywho, because this is my scrap. So, this and this. I just don't feel like this is gonna work. It's perfect for me, okay? And of course we have this little bit of scrap, and I have an idea, because I thought I was gonna have to make like some shorts to go underneath, but I think I'm gonna use this for something else, because it's definitely seeming like something I may need to do. So anyway, we'll come back to that. Anyway, so I did not want to use the sleeves from Simplicity's 9012. I've made this dress before, and we're making A, but we're making A without the sash and without the, well, I would say and without, but I wasn't going to use the sleeves at all. But why reinvent the wheel? If you pay attention to the sleeve for A, okay, excluding that top fringe layer, that top frilly layer, if you notice, it's a lot of excess fabric. So rather than bunch, I'm going to use the pattern piece for that, but I'm going to exaggerate it out. Like, I'm going to come out maybe 4 inches on each side, kind of coming down at an angle. And when I get to the wrist, I am going to measure a nice piece of maybe 1/4 inch elastic, and we'll make a casing. We'll close that in. And because my goal is to wear this dress again. I don't know what, I don't know where, but number one, I love a sheer mesh number. Now, I always try to do it, you know, with class. Like, I'll wear, like, I have body shapers, of all colors. Okay, so I have a brown that's very close to my skin. So I also like Shaper Mint. I love Shaper Mint. Love them. I have a brown, like Shaper Mint is like a knockoff of Skims. I have a brown cami that holds everything in, and I have a pair of brown, I guess you could just say a girdle, but it's shorts that perfectly matches that. And I always get that type of wear from Lane Bryant. So the cami I've always kind of gotten from Shaper Mint since they've come out, but most of my Spanx like stuff has come from Lane Bryant. So I'm gonna wear that underneath, so it's like it's sheer and you see everything I got going on up under there, but my undergarments will be flesh tone. So boom, do that. If you don't do nothing else, do that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut these sleeves. Let's do that. And the way that the dress is set up, I have the back stitched to the front, and I may have jumped ahead on the pattern. I don't know, because initially I was not going to use the sleeves from this dress. And if you're following along with the instructions, you actually make the sleeves first. But I started with just the dress because I wasn't going to use it. Anyway, I have the front attached to the back. So if you turn that to the side, you have that little U, because this is the front, this is the back. The sleeves are attached to the dress in the U shape because it's going to gather and make the collar. So almost like a raglan shirt, that's how the top of that dress is made. And I still think it's hilarious that every time I've made this dress, it has been with, like, this is mesh fabric that I'm using. The last time it was with lace. So apparently I just believe in being naked when I'm wearing this dress. It is what it is. Let's do this. So for pattern piece 3, because this should be short sleeve, I could add pattern piece 4 to the bottom, which would be the bell, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to lay this on my fabric, and I am going to do a few things. I'm going to maybe come out just a little bit, because I'm a little afraid with this being the kind of fabric, you know, the mesh and the chiffon being the whole dress. I need to give a little bit of wiggle room because I don't want anything to tear. You know, we just try and get through the night. So I'm gonna expand it out a little bit over here. Then y'all, I'm so ashamed. Like, I'm so sorry. Jesus, look at these nails. I'm so sorry I'm doing y'all like this, but hold on, baby, hold on. I'll be ready for y'all tomorrow, I promise. Anywho, well, come out a few on the sides because I have bigger upper arms, and we're going to extend this downward. Okay, but I'm going to do it directly on the fabric with my ruler and some chalk, because it's chiffon and the way that chiffon feels, and because I had so much of it, I cut big pieces of fabric to work with. So I cut enough fabric to give me an oversized sleeve. So that's all I'm doing right here. Nothing major. I haven't even put the pattern piece on yet. So at this point, I was moving off straight vibes, okay? I laid my pattern piece out, and I was like, okay, for this square that I've cut, just go ahead, you know, extend out, you know, probably as far as you can, and go from there. So it really was no brainer. I didn't even use my chalk. I went ahead, used my electric cutter, and did exactly what, you know, what I said I was going to do. And I did not, in fact, extend in the shoulder area. I just made sure, you know, it was bigger on the arm. So, you know, make sure you put in your notches and whatnot, you know, so you'll know exactly where to, you know, connect your different pieces. And after that, remove the pattern piece, folded the sleeves over, stitched up the arm. And because the style of this dress is raglan, by putting the sleeves in, it will complete the neckline. And for the instructions on this dress, you just add a piece of elastic to create like a funky neckline. So now I have cut and stitched, did a straight stitch down the seam of the sleeve. But what I did, that I had to come, you know, because y'all my friends, we best friends, I had to tell y'all. So I recut both sleeves because remember I said I wanted my sleeve to be ridiculously dramatic. So this is the new sleeve that y'all are looking at. This is the old one. This is the one that I showed you all I cut. I need all that space over there because when this bunches in, when I put the elastic, number one, you see it's a good maybe 4 inches in between where this sleeve ends and this one ends. So I have long arms, long torso, so I needed those extra inches. Like, I'm winging this because I just know what I want, and I've been sewing long enough that I make things what I want them to be. So I recut it, and I gave so much more room over there because I just needed it to be dramatic. So now we're gonna throw this one away, and we're going to add it to our dress. Okay, so I have already put my label in just so I would know the front from the back. Nothing spectacular. Let me get this thread out the way. And now let's flip this like so, like that. Like so, like that. So if you all notice, I try to keep my selvage edges because this type of fabric makes me nervous. So I purposely didn't cut this because I want this to try to keep the fraying from happening by any means necessary. So taking the sleeve, we're going to turn it inside out. Okay. So this would technically be, let's lay this out the way. This is so big. You got plenty of room to work with. So since this has been turned inside, I know we added like the extra little piece of fabric, so I can't really say I'm gonna line this up with this seam because that's throwing me off. So we're gonna eye it. Let me get me some clips. And let's just try to go from one side to the other. But again, this has been turned such that like sides are matching. Let's just see here. Okay, I couldn't see my notches because everything is sheer. So here's a notch. Here's a notch. Okay, so line up at the notch. Then we'll go up to the other side, try to find the other. Okay, found the other 2 notches. And we're going to clip all the way across. All right. So we are clipped all the way around. And again, the stitch that I'm using is on purpose because I need to stabilize this as much as possible. If I have a wardrobe malfunction, I'll keep some I'll keep some jean shorts or something like in the car, because again, I'm wearing a brown cami underneath, like a true like fitted Spanx type camisole underneath, and I'll have on brown shaper shorts, and you know, so I won't be like surprise, surprise. I won't be that. But I will be, you know, I have a little backup in case something happens. So let's go stitch this up real quick, and then I'll show you how it looks, and then we'll repeat the other side, and then we'll put the elastic around the neck, and the dress will be done. This is so good. Okay. So I put one sleeve in, and it's giving what I wanted it to give. So I didn't show you all me sewing this sleeve in. Like, it was a straight stitch, but you all saw how I clipped it all the way around. And like I said, it's like a raglan style type of outfit, but the way that looks, oh, it's so good. I don't know how the true light would hit this, but Frocktails is at night. But I just wanted a dramatic sleeve, and this sleeve is giving me what I wanted. Again, I'm going to put elastic around it and have it bunched up at my wrist so I can have that good balloon. But I'm loving this. So I'm going to drop the other sleeve in. Stitch that around, and then I put the elastic. Just remember from making this before, the instructions over there. I'll put the elastic around the neck, and that's it. And same, I told you with those selvage edges, I kept it all the way around. I didn't want to cut anything up. Oh, and I purposely, like, I love playing with the details of fabric. So whenever you have any type of fabric like this, they're always going to leave like a good about 3-4 inches of just nothing but mesh, and I wanted that to lay against my skin. So the bunching, like, this is good. And then the what is this, the chiffon, just, oh y'all, it's so good. Like, everything just is flowing the way I want it, and God was looking out for me because baby, work, ooh, yeah, work has been working me. So yeah, is something missing on my phone? Or does that look like that? Oh, okay, that just looks like that. Anyway, I'm gonna drop this other sleeve in, come back, put the elastic around the neck, and we're done, because this 150% does not need to have any type of hem. I'm leaving all of this raw. The only reason you're gonna get something around here is because I want the balloon sleeve. So that's it. I'll be back. So as I pointed out earlier, I purposely did not touch the edge, the selvage edge of this fabric, of the mesh fabric, of the chiffon, because I wanted to stabilize that as much as possible. I just did not want any fraying, because baby, we about to get it in this weekend. So I just turned this over, you know, turn it down into the wrong side of the fabric, and I'm going to do a straight stitch all the way around just to clean up the neckline, make it even. And after that, I am going to cut the elastic to the length that it says it needs to be cut, and then we'll kind of pinch, it will stretch the elastic as we stitch it around, and that gives the neck a design, and we're done with the dress. Now, my loves, I'm not quite sure why I don't have footage of me putting in the elastic in the sleeves as well as around the neck. But at any rate, I used 1/4 inch elastic and I used black. But I did manage to find these kitten heels with the heart shape at the toe. Totally perfect complement to my dress, which we have here. I love how this turned out. So this truly turned into a sew along, and because of that, I wanted to give you the rest of Frocktails, the party time, in part 2. So you will get that soon after this. But y'all, just look at the dress. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. And so when we pick back up on part 2, we will go into how I made my headpiece. I was the Queen of Hearts, so I had to have a crown, right? So we will pick back up with this crown that I made with my bare hands, my makeup that I did myself. I put the cards on my face, and I hope you all have enjoyed. I will catch you soon, and very soon. And if you have not subscribed, I'm tired of telling you all, come on back in here, baby. I am me. I'm going to give it to you real. I'm going to show you when I mess up. I discuss my failures. I discuss my wins. I just absolutely love being able to create in this manner. So please give me feedback. Let me know what you think. Again, this pattern was Simplicity's 9012. And anytime I'm using a pattern, that is just my base. That's my canvas. Anything that you want to do with it, the sky's the limit. Y'all, please don't be afraid to take chances and have fun with your patterns. You don't have to do exactly what's on the page. But if you are new, this is a great pattern for a beginner sewer. There were not many parts to it, and you saw what I did with it. This is my second time making it, and I love it so much. And FYI, I made this dress the following weekend in white. I'll throw this little picture up right here for a gala that I went to. So yeah, that's that. I will see you soon. I hope you all have enjoyed. Look for part 2 soon. And yeah, bye.